Why? Why? Why we can't have nice things? Why we just can't have nice things? Don't we deserve that as a fan base? Seriously, don't the Houston fans deserve that as a fan base? Don't the Texas organization owe us that much? Remember when our biggest worry and complaint with the team was all we did was win the AFC South, but couldn't win the playoff game? Remember that when that was our biggest worry? How quickly all that turned. It feels like ages ago when it was just 2 seasons ago. What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're going to talk some football. Houston Texans football. Okay, guys, it's getting closer and closer to the time. It's the pressure's being put on by not just the fan base, not just Deshaun Watson, just from everybody about this Texans organization, this head coach. The Texans are the only team that have not hired a head coach yet, and reports have coming out that about Deshaun Watson is getting closer and closer to demanding a trade. He is yet to call for one as of right now. He is yet to call for a trade and demand a trade, and I think there's a reason for that. And I know a lot of people saying, like the reports that it doesn't matter who the Texans hire as a head coach, that he wants out. I don't believe that. The reason why I don't believe that is because if that was the case, I believe he would have already asked for a trade. It wouldn't be all this cryptic tweets and all the back channels and stuff like that. He would full-fledged go ahead and say what he got to say, and we move on forward if it was no way to repair. So I do think there's a chance. I do think there's a way to repair it. Is it going to get repaired? I'm going to lead into it while I talk about this video, because I want to talk about who actually can fix the situation and why, and who can kind of repair the relationship with Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. But, I mean, we already know exactly what it is. It's one guy that's running the show. When you go out there and you interview Josh McCown for a head coaching job, not for an offensive coordinator job or quarterbacks coach or assistant quarterbacks coach, when you interview him for the head coaching job and then have the nerve and the audacity to tweet it out, like we're proud of this, that's a problem. And the reason why, because of the guy who's pulling the strings. The great puppet master, Jack used to be. You know, Jack used to be acting like Thanos. Yeah, he really is. He's gathering all the Infinity Stones. Janice McNair's the Infinity Stone. Cal is. Hannah. Now Nick Casario, the general manager, he got 4 stones. He got 4 of the 6. All he needs is the head coach, and all he needs is the quarterback. And he has complete control of this organization. He already has control, but right now it's a fight between the front office and the players, and the coaching staff is right there in the middle of it. And that's why this hire is so important, because this hire is going to swing the fence or take more control for the ownership side and the management, or is it going to lean more towards the players? This all depends on who you hire as the head coach. This is why this is so crucial about who can actually fix and repair this relationship between Deshaun Watson and his organization, because us as a fan base, we have waited, 17, 18 years watching the Houston Texans to finally get a franchise quarterback. I don't hate David Carr like everybody else do. Like I think that David Carr, yeah, he wasn't great. He wasn't great. I think some of his stuff had circumstances. He had it was bad circumstances. He was put in a bad position. Matt Schaub was a backup quarterback that was able to put the life behind Gary Kubiak, but we never had a franchise quarterback. And right now, you got, not only do you have a franchise quarterback, not only a top 5 quarterback, in my opinion, you have the second best quarterback in the league with the potential of being the number 1 guy in all of NFL. Deshaun Watson can be the face of the NFL if things are put in place around him properly, if he gets the right coaching staff and the right pieces. And yet, you want to squander that. Like a coworker told me today at work, if you get rid of Deshaun Watson, if you get rid of Deshaun Watson, it'll be 20 years before you get another quarterback. He said, think about this. You had Warren Moon, like 93, 94 is when he left. How long did it take you to get Deshaun Watson? 2017. It's 23, 24 years. That's how long it took you to get a quarterback. It took you 23 to 24 years to get a guy similar to Warren Moon. You had a franchise guy in Warren Moon, and as a city, I know it's a different organization, but as a city, you had a franchise guy in Warren Moon. It took you 24 years to get another one. Do you really want to go another 20 to 25 to 30 years while having a franchise quarterback? Stop it. Quit playing. Now, I know this is all with Deshaun, because Deshaun is the one who can force a trade. He's the one who can say, no, I don't want to go there. He got the no trade clause, but you're forcing the man's hand. So you have to do whatever you can to fix the relationship. So let's talk about who can actually fix this relationship. 5 candidates. 5, in my opinion, I think were the top 5 coaching candidates in the Texans' mind. This is not in this order, but this is the order I believe of how they could fix and repair a relationship with Deshaun. The first guy is the wonder kid, Joe Brady. I got him fit. Because I think, be honest, I think there's zero chance if you hire Joe Brady, I think Deshaun Watson wants out. And it has nothing to do with Joe Brady himself, because Joe Brady's even said Joe Brady was offered the job, and Joe Brady, from all the reports, he was offered the job, and he was like, hey, I need to talk to Watson. And ain't no talking to Watson, ain't no Joe Brady. I believe if Deshaun Watson would have never got mad or anything like this, if he would never been sent out cryptic tweets or nothing from his camp, the Texans head coaching hire search would have been done already, and Joe Brady would be the head coach. And I think the reason why this would make Deshaun Watson mad, he's like, hold on. Hey, I see what he did as LSU with Joe Burrow, won that championship. That's cool. I seen what he did with Carolina, got 3,000-yard receivers. That's cool. But he's new. He's 31 years old. When you got somebody like Bieniemy, you got somebody like Byron Leftwich, you got these other black guys, African American offensive coordinators doing everything. They grinded, putting in all the work, getting all the experience, all the credentials for the opportunity, and yet they get bypassed behind a 31-year-old kid. A black guy will never get that opportunity. That's what's going on in Deshaun Watson's mind. So I think that would be a completely turn off for him. I think that would turn him completely off. He's like, no, I do not, no, like, no, trade me, get rid of me. So I think there's zero chance, and I think that's the reason why Joe Brady's not a Texan head coach right now, because there's zero chance that I think he could repair and fix the relationship. The second guy, fourth guy, is Jim Caldwell. Former coach of the Indianapolis Colts, went to the Super Bowl. He won the Super Bowl as an offensive coordinator with the Colts, went to the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning and lost to the Saints. Then ended up was the offensive coordinator with Baltimore that's probably his biggest job, because Peyton Manning's Peyton Manning. When he won the Super Bowl as the offensive coordinator with the Ravens with Joe Flacco, that's probably his best job. And then also he had Matt Stafford and went to the Lions and was 9-7. He's the black Bill O'Brien. Him, Marvin Lewis, Bill O'Brien are all the same guy. He gonna get you the 9-7 special, the Bill O'Brien special, the 9-7 special. I think that maybe from an offensive standpoint, maybe Deshaun Watson could respect what he did, especially like I said with Joe Flacco, working with Peyton Manning, the success he had with Matt Stafford, putting up all the numbers that Matt Stafford's put up. By Matt Stafford for his career, I think it's 16 all time in yards and touchdowns. So seeing that, but doesn't see the results outside of the year with Peyton Manning when they went to the Super Bowl, which he just basically took over the team that Tony Dungy left. He really hasn't done anything as a coaching job to do anything. So I think from him, he might respect him from an offensive standpoint from when he did his credentials, but to be the head coach, to be the guy, it's the same thing that you had for the past 7 years, 6-7 years with Bill O'Brien. So I think that's another one. That's a no-go. That's a complete, I don't think that will work. And I believe that both the Texans would take that, because I think the Texans want both Tim Caldwell and Joe Brady, because they believe in their mind that they can run over them, that they mind that they can control them, especially the puppet master back here, Jack Easterby. Because I'm the one, yes, I wanted Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley was my number one candidate. But right now, I think it has to be, you have to have leaders of men. It's going to be more, now, with the way this front office is operating right now, it is more about leaders of men than X's and O's. See, when I wanted Lincoln Riley, when I wanted Byron Leftwich, it was more about X's and O's. It wasn't about leaders of men, but I was thinking about from a pure football standpoint. I think Lincoln Riley could do some things with this team. I think Byron Leftwich could do some things with this team with Deshaun Watson. Now, with not trusting this front office, like I said, it's a fight. It's between the front office and the Texans, and the coaching staff is right in the middle. I think that you have to have a strong-minded coach who could lead these men to charge against, like I say, Thanos and the rest of the in the rest of the management group up there in the front office. And you would need guys like a Ron Rivera, like a Mike Tomlin, like a Sean Payton, like a Pete Carroll, more so than, even though I believe that Kyle Shanahan is a great coach. Same thing with Matt LaFleur. I think he's on his way. I like Cliff Kingsbury. He's a former Texas Tech Red Raider. Those guys would not work well in this system, because you need some people who are leaders of men more so than X's and O's. Because in their mind, X and O's guys, they can control, especially Jack Easterby. So the number 3 guy on the list, and this is a very, very interesting one, and that's Leslie Frazier. Former safety from the Chicago Bears, won the Super Bowl back in '85, one of the best defenses of all time. He was a DC for the Philadelphia Eagles back in the day under Andy Reid. He's a defensive coordinator right now for the Buffalo Bills. And no, he had a head coaching stint in Minnesota. African American, so this would be more so to like with the reports of how Deshaun Watson seems like he wants to be coached by a black coach. He wants a black guy to get opportunity. The problem with this is I think this might have a 30% chance of saving Deshaun Watson and repairing the relationship. And the reason why is because of that. And I think that maybe Leslie Frazier could look and be like, look, I know I didn't do well in Minnesota, but think about this. I had Christian Ponder as my quarterback. My quarterback was Christian Ponder. I didn't have a quarterback like you. I see what you did. You led the league in passing, most yards per attempt, second in quarterback rating, third in completion percentage. I seen all your games, all your highlight tapes that you put your team either to win the game or take the lead, and yet your defense messes up. I'm gonna fix the defense. Don't worry about that. I know defense. I was on the 95 Bears. I know. You see what I did? How I got Buffalo rocking. I got the defense. You get the offense, and let's go win the title. Maybe. But to be honest, I think hiring him would kind of alienate Deshaun Watson even more because I think he will see what we all see. It's a dog and pony show. If the Texans hire Leslie Frazier, it's a complete dog and pony show. It's, oh look, we're the only team this year to hire a black coach. Look at us. Yes, look at us. And it's really just something that they're doing because it makes it look good. Oh, the Texans are good with social issues. They sensitive to this and they sensitive to that. They hired a black coach. The only team that hired a black coach in this coaching cycle. It's fake. It's phony. They only doing it for that. Not because they actually think the guy is qualified. We don't want people to be hired just to be hired. We don't want you to just hire a black coach just to hire a black coach or draft a black player just to draft a black player. Get the best person for the job. So if the best person for the job, but at the same time, get these guys chances. Give Airbnbs and Byron Leftwich and the other guys opportunities to interview them at least. Don't just shun them at the door. At least give them the chance to interview. Don't just, oh no. Like at least give them the chance to interview. And then, hey, if you find somebody that's better, if you interview both EB and Joe Brady, and you just feel that Joe Brady's a better coach than EB, that's a complete different story. That I'm gonna interview Joe Brady. I'm not gonna even talk to EB, and I'm gonna hire Joe Brady. That's where the rub gets. That's where it gets. Okay, you already had your mind made up before you even went to it. You feel me? So I think that Deshaun will see that as how we see it, and that's all it is. It'd be a great dog and pony show. It'd be a token high, and that would, I think, in my opinion, would alienate Deshaun even more. Like I said, I give it a 30% chance because maybe Leslie could talk to him and explain this, and maybe that could get Deshaun like, okay, yeah, I can feel you. You can fix that defense. I'll keep rolling with the offense, and we can win some games. But I really don't. I say I give it 30% chance at best. The second guy on the list is Matt Eberflus, the DC, the Indianapolis coach. Deshaun Watson really respects Matt Eberflus, and he's a white guy. But the Deshaun Watson really respects Eberflus. The reason why is because you can tell that after each Colts game, he runs straight to Eberflus and talks to him about the coverages and the things that Eberflus did. And to be honest, if you go back and look, going all the way back to 2018, the two matchups in the regular season and the playoff game, the two matchups in 2019. Outside of these two games, like this past year in 2020, when Deshaun Watson went bonkers throughout most of the game, the Colts defense, even in the wins, the overtime win in 18, and then the win on Thursday night back in 19, even in those victories, and the other three were losses, Deshaun Watson had problems with those defenses. And that's with a Hopkins. That's with a Will Fuller. Like this year, he didn't have Hopkins or Fuller in neither one of those games. In those games, he had both Hopkins and he had Will Fuller in a lot of those games except the playoff game. But he still, like, that defense still had confusing components to Deshaun Watson. He Eberflus was able to confuse and able to hide a lot of things. So Deshaun Watson respects what he does from an X and O standpoint. And I'm pretty sure he respects what he could do. And he does strike me that he could be a guy who could potentially be a leader of men. So I think that may give Deshaun maybe a 50% chance that maybe, but then I think Deshaun Watson's still kind of out. But Eberflus at first he denied the interview. He did not want to interview, and then yet he ended up interviewing. So I wonder if he talked to Deshaun or he talked to somebody in Deshaun camp, and that's the reason why, okay, I'm gonna interview. But I don't think the Texans are going to go that route because, to be honest, if they was going to go that route, they could, because Eberflus been gone. He's been done like playing. Like the coach been done playing football for a couple of weeks now. So he could have, if he could have potentially been hired, if that was the hire, he would have been hired. But I do think that he had maybe a 50% chance because Deshaun Watson does respect him. Now, we already know who number one is. We already know who it is. It's Airbnb. Airbnb is the easiest choice to fix the situation. I mean, come on. And it's really absurd that he's not getting the opportunities he should be getting because he's the most qualified guy. 3 straight years as offensive coordinator. He's the offensive coordinator, the number one offense all 3 years. 3 straight AFC Championship games. 2 Super Bowl appearances. At least 1 Super Bowl victory, if not about to get another. And then the number 3 guy on the list. Airbnb's offense worked him. Airbnb's offense has worked this team, the Texans team, twice. Now you can say about Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes. I get all that. But if you look at what that offense did, just go back and look at how that offense looked on Sunday against Buffalo. We can do some of the same stuff. Now, we might not do it to the same magnitude as them, but we got speed. We got Will Fuller. We got Brandon Cooks. We got Kiki. We can do things similar to what they do. Of course, it's not going to look the same way because those are better players over there. Even though I think that Fuller's better I think both Fuller and Cooks are probably better receivers than Hartman. But I mean, they're not better than Tyreek Hill, and of course, they still got Kelce. But I believe that you can do similar things to what they're doing over there. You can do similar things to what they're doing. So, and I believe Deshaun feels that way. Deshaun Watson can do the similar things that Patrick Mahomes and also do things that Patrick Mahomes can't do. So that's a whole nother playbook you can open. There's possibilities just open all type of way. So you can simply say, oh, that's Andy Reid's offense. That's fine. Let it be Andy Reid's offense. That's perfectly cool. Because the offense that we were seeing, this Bill O'Brien offense, wasn't really Bill O'Brien's offense anyway. It was a piece of Josh McDaniels and what's the other dude's name? Charlie Weiss and just the stuff the Patriots been doing that Bill O'Brien tried to put his own little spin on it. If I can get a semblance of the Chiefs offense and put my own little spin on it with Deshaun Watson, Will Fuller, Brandon Cooks, Kiki QT, and go out there and draft a running back or find a running back in free agency, then you got something. You cooking with grease. You're cooking with grease. And that's how Deshaun Watson feels. Again, if they would interview Bieniemy from the beginning, but went another route, I think Deshaun Watson's a grown-ass man. Deshaun Watson, all right, cool. At least you gave. I don't think in the beginning this was Bieniemy a bust. But now it has turned to that. And now it's even turned to even if it's Bieniemy, I don't want to be here. I don't think that's the case because if that's the case, I think Deshaun Watson will already force his way out. But Airbnb is the best chance and the best opportunity for the Houston Texans to fix their relationship unless they hire Dabo Swinney. That is the only other option. That's not a real option. I'm just saying Dabo's the only other person who could walk in the door and be like, Deshaun, stay. And I'm pretty sure Deshaun will be like, okay, coach. Other than that, it's EB. So it's EB or nothing. And I believe that EB, and I believe both EB and Eberflus will be leaders of men. And I don't think they'll be puppets. I think that Caldwell and Frazier, especially the situation they've done with the Lions and with the Vikings not being successful, they will be puppets to Jack Easterby. They will be yes men to Jack Easterby. They will agree to what Jack Easterby says. Jack Easterby says this. I want this type of player. We don't want this type of player. I believe that both Eberflus and Airbnb, they're gonna be in their draft room and be like, I need this type of player. Give me a Chuba Hubbard. Give me a Najee Harris. Don't give me this running back that went to this one school and he's this type of person and fed the hungry. Hey, that's all good if he a good character person. I have no problem with that. That is great. That's great. We're talking about football here. Plain and simple. We are talking about football. I need football players. Now, I don't need good Samaritans. If they're good Samaritans, let them be good Samaritans. I have no problem with the team being having good Samaritans. That's not an issue with me. I'm not, we need some. I'm not the type of person, we need some rough riders. We need some guys. No, I want good football players however they come. I don't care what they do on and off the field. I'm worried about what they do on Sunday between 12 and 3 o'clock. And sometimes between 7 and 10. Other than that, that's all I worry about. And what they do on that football field. That's it. That's completely it. Give me good quality football players, not just good quality guys. And I think that both EB would tell, EB Eberflus would tell Casario and Jack Easterby, I'm going to coach my guys. Y'all do what y'all do. Y'all hire y'all players and not do all that type of stuff like that. I'm gonna coach my guys, and yeah, I want some input on who we bring into this building. I don't think he should have full control because I don't think nobody had full control. That's what happened with Bill O'Brien. Full control. One person had full control of everything is a recipe for disaster because you doing whatever you want to do and you not listening to other people because other people gonna have better ideas than you. It's just point blank. Nobody. If you the smartest guy in the room, you don't need to be in that room. Shout out to my boy G Jones. like just straight up. Like if you the smartest person in the room, you don't need to be in that room. Like that's just point blank. So you need to get leaders of men to lead this football team because if not, if they get the head coach that bends to Jack Easterby will, and then they move on from Deshaun Watson and get a quarterback that bends to Jack Easterby's will, the rest of the 52 men on that roster ain't got no choice. And it's going to be a bad football. And like I said, you're going to be 20 years. You're going to be like Cleveland, Brand, like how Cleveland and Buffalo, those little stats of just win the playoff game since 92 or just win the playoff game since 94, the longest NFL drought. That's going to be the Texans. You get rid of Deshaun Watson, that's going to be us. That's the next 20 years of this franchise. That right there. Going 20, 25 years, not only while having the franchise quarterback, while seeing the playoffs, and if you did make the playoffs, not even having the playoff victory. That is the future. And the potential, that is the complete future of this franchise if you move on from the quarterback. But yet it's the quarterback's decision because you're forcing his hand because you're being stupid. You're being idiotic. Like I said, do I believe it can be fixed? Do I think it can be fixed? Yes, I think it's a simple fix, to be honest with you. And I think it can be fixed. Do I trust it will be? No. My personal opinion, I sad to say, I believe they're going to hire Leslie Frazier. Like I believe they're going to hire Leslie Frazier. I don't think Leslie Frazier is going to be able to convince Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson is going to force a trade. That's where I'm at right now. And I think the reason why he hasn't did it yet because he's holding out that they can bring in Airbnb. He's holding out that they're smart enough to bring in Airbnb. And if the whole thing, well, no, but they didn't want Airbnb from the beginning, why would he take the job and why would Deshaun Watson still stay? Sometimes you have to go through backdoor channels. Sometimes you get forced up on something, but it's a great thing. Sometimes you want to leave that job. You've been wanting to get that job. But you scared to go get it. Then something happened. You forced to go get that job, and it's the best thing that ever happened to you. You scared to leave that relationship. But you leave that relationship, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to you. Sometimes you get forced to do things that you don't want to do, but it ends up being the best thing for you, and that could be the situation. For the Houston Texans, they're forced to bend to Deshaun Watson's will and hire a head coach and Eric Bieniemy, and it could be the best thing for him and this franchise to actually bring you championships, because that's what it is. We're not out here to show the NFL and show the world that we good people as a football team. The Houston Texans' objective is to win games and win championships. That's the reason why. And unless you do that, you're failing. It's an epic failure. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't, comment below if you haven't, click that bell, get more videos. I holla.